Hey, what's going on? It is 12 noon on Wednesday, which means it's time for this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Chrisman. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Time to help you in the real estate industry, to know what you're doing with your real estate license. So what we're talking about today is a pipeline. And look, this actually goes beyond the realm of real estate. Any business that's selling something needs to have a pipeline. Now, you might be wondering, well, what is a pipeline? Why does my business need it? And ultimately, how do I fill this pipeline? Because there's no point in having a pipeline. You really don't have a pipeline if there's nothing in the pipeline. So we're going to be breaking that all down today, how you could build a real estate pipeline, a business pipeline, to ultimately guarantee your success going into the future. That's the whole point of a pipeline. So that's what we're going to be talking about today on this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Chrisman. This show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate.
You are watching Ask the Instructor. Absorb the knowledge. Become the expert.
Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Chrisman. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern Time, to help you build a successful real estate business, to help you understand the technical side of the real estate business so you know what to do with your real estate license. If you haven't already, click that bell icon so you get notifications whenever it is that we're going live or we're posting a video. We put out videos every single day to help you build a successful real estate career. So hit that bell icon and you'll get notified whenever it is that we've got new content to help you out. So this whole idea of a pipeline, what a pipeline is really just a line of people waiting to do business with you. And you might have people waiting to do business with you, but if you aren't conscious of this, if you're not conscious of the people that want to do business with you and you're not proactively trying to what's going to happen if they're 6 months, a year, 2 years out, they're probably going to forget if you're not nurturing that relationship. You know, maybe even you're a close family member. You know, maybe your mom. Now, your mom obviously is probably one of your biggest fans in real estate. Maybe they're not, but maybe they are. But what happens if you didn't talk to her for 2 years? Would she remember you're in real estate? Probably not. She might go sell her house to somebody else if you haven't talked to her in 2 years. Even your own mother or parent or child or whoever it is that might be close to you that you have this close relationship with. But the reason why you have that relationship is because of you nurturing the relationship. So what the pipe, keep track of what stage all of your potential clients are. So that way you really have a line of people, and depending on the stage of your pipeline it is that they're at, will determine what it is that you should be doing. Because you might meet, first let's get a statistic out. You probably heard this one before, but according to the National Association of Realtors, somebody buys their house and sells their house. Basically somebody that owns their home moves every 5 to 7 years. So that means if you have a client today, on average in 5 to 7 years, we'll call it 6 years to split the difference. Who knows, maybe it's a little longer, maybe it's a little bit shorter, it depends, that's just an average number. Let's say it's 6 years. So it says if you sell them something today, in 6 years, they're going to want to sell their house, and they're not going to sell their house and become renters, they're going to sell their house and buy another house. So that's 2 more requiring the same attention that somebody who's actively trying to buy a house right now. You're really kind of changing gears with them after you sell them the house. But you don't want to forget about them because you don't talk to anybody for 6 years and they're going to forget who you are. And that's, again, the whole point of the pipeline. So you can keep track of everybody and what stages it is that they're in. And this doesn't just go for past clients. This goes for they're a prospect. Even if they're in another state, when let's say you're only licensed that they're going to refer you. And that way, when they're that you're a good person, that you help people, you want to make sure that they never forget that. So that way, whenever they have any sort of real estate need, or they have a friend or family member that has a real estate need, that your name is the first one that's going to come up for them. That if it's a friend or family member, oh, you got to talk to John. Well, if they just move there, they're probably not part of this, hey, I need your services right now. Maybe they are. Maybe something came up. Maybe they got a new job. Maybe their spouse got a new job, whatever it is, where they just bought a house and they need to sell it. Again, that's low-hanging fruit because they need your services right now. But what happens is a lot of agents only focus on this low-hanging fruit. They're always looking for fruit. They see the fruit that's further up the tree that they can't reach yet because it's not ripe or whatever the case may be. And they say, oh, they'll come around someday. And what happens? They never come around to you. Unless you're nurturing this relationship, unless you're proactively making sure that they don't forget about you. Imagine you're doing door knocking and you go knock on doors and you find, maybe you knock on 100 doors and you find line. There's no of constant business. You're just focused on the present. Which again, this is what's going to get you paid today. And that's why a lot of agents get focused and caught up on this and they don't look at the long term. nurturing those and following up. Whenever I say average, that should not be something you aspire to. score these people. And you know, how soon do they need to purchase? Because as they get closer to now, that's where you're going to turn up the heat. That's where you're going to put more personal closer to now. Years out when they call you, because what's going to happen? They might have a referral for you. So you still want to nurture these relationships, but you don't have to be as proactive as you are when you're working with the people that need your services right now, right this moment, right this second, right this month, right this week. They need to move yesterday. Don't get caught up in that. I mean, yeah, that's what's going to keep you busy. But always make time for your future self, for your future business. And that's everybody that's further down this pipeline. And let's say, again, you're knocking on doors and you talk to 100 people, you might hit 2 people that need your services right now, or maybe even if it's only 1 person that needs your services now, that 10,000 people you had to talk to get that $10,000 commission check. But then what about the other 99 people? They're at some level of here, of pretty close to pretty warm to pretty cold. But that doesn't mean you'll never do business with them. Ask yourself this question. Do you still want to be in business 5 years from now? And where do you see your business 5 years from now? If you see your business thriving and succeeding, that means you've got a plan for that 5 years away now. And every relationship it is that you start today, even if it's not immediate business, some point in the future will be business. And you're going to thank yourself 5 years from now for all the work it is that you've been doing, that you've been building up to build this pipeline of people. Now, if you don't have a relationship with somebody, they're not in your pipeline. They're not in your funnel. They're not in contact with you. If you don't have a relationship, they're probably not going to turn into a client. But when you have a relationship, that's the first step to turning somebody into a client. And would you rather, you know, if you're buying leads from Zillow or buying leads from Realtor.com or buying leads from one of these lead generation websites, you have somebody that is a hot deal right now, but what do you've got to do to get them to trust you, to get them sell yourself? You've got to build a relationship with them. And when you contact with for 5 years, especially years about real estate, or even if it's only 1 year, even if it's only 6 months, you've already got that relationship built. So when it gets time for business, it's straight down to business. They already know you, they already trust you, they already know that you're an expert, they already know that you know what you're talking about, because all this work that you put in the meantime has been leading up to that. So you're going to end up with much better clients when you've educated them on you. You've basically process that you're brainwashing them, and that word brainwashing, it's always got the negative connotation to it, but really anytime you want to teach somebody something or get somebody to change their beliefs about something, you are effectively brainwashing them. I mean, if we want to use, and maybe you don't like the negative connotation of that term, you could call it something else. We could call it training them and educating them and marketing to them. There's so many words that basically get people to change their thoughts, but that's what you're doing during this whole process, during this whole period. You're making sure that they're on the same page with you, that they understand what it is doing, how you could help them, and so that way when it is time for business, piece of cake, because they're already on the same page with you. You don't have to sell them on yourselves or what it is that you're doing, because you've already built that relationship and you get, again, straight down to business. Whereas you're having to cram all that in as quick, hope that it lands with they immediately need real estate today. Now, you know, buying leads online, that is a way to find business now. But then even when you get a lead online, maybe you get this lead off of Zillow and you pay whatever money per month to get leads from Zillow or whatever the case may be, to be a featured agent on Zillow, and you get this lead that comes in and it turns out, you know, maybe they're not now. Maybe that's what you thought you're going to get, but even when you pay for these lead services, they might be 6 months, a year, maybe even 2 years out. And a lot of times people will just write them off as, oh, that's a bad lead. That's a junk lead. That's not going to get me anything. That's not going to get me any business. They don't need to buy today. But again, when you put them in this funnel, in this process, then when it does come time that they need to do business with you, when they need business right now, you're the first person that pops in their mind. That's your want them when they think real estate, your name. up in their brain. That real estate, oh, John Charismo. Oh yeah, I've got to call John. John's my guy. Me a couple weeks ago. Let me go ahead and text him back and see how that goes. And when they're up here, the golden opportunity, even while they're still years or however long out it may be, is referrals. Even if you haven't done business with somebody yet, if you're providing them value, they're going to want to reciprocate, and they're going to want to provide value to you. If they're getting value from you, they're going to want to provide you value. So you, again, don't be afraid to work for free. This whole process here, even this process here, this is working for free. Do you charge people up front to go look at homes? No, you don't. Do you charge people up front to give them a listing presentation to try to get them to sign a listing contract with you? No, you don't. You don't charge these people up front. You don't get paid until a contract closes. All I'm saying is if you focus on expanding how much it is that you're willing to work for free, that will lead to more and more business. Now, again, you've got to be efficient about this. You've got to make sure that you're juggling this in. So not only are you turning people, you're treating them like a now buyer or a now seller and they just bought their home. It might be, okay, John, you're a little much right now. We just bought our home. I don't know why you keep calling me every single day. And they're going to get creeped out by you. And they're going to be turned off by you. Because, again, not only for your business, because it out maybe a little maybe you have a bi-weekly or monthly or maybe even weekly newsletter is how you could be more efficient for managing these deals that are learn it is that you work for free, the more value you provide them, they're going to feel an urge that they've got to give back to you. When they see that you're helping them, they're going to want to give back to you. So let's make a little bit of a plan here. And I'm going to leave this up here. I'm going to leave this up for our, and that's our now. So I want to leave this up here and kind of go down the list of what it is that you should be doing at these different stages here. Now, people that need you now, everything. This is where personal. This is where you're having personal visits and appointments. So anybody it is that you're having appointments with, personal visits with, official business type of appointments, those are the people that need your business right now. But then what about the people that are 6 months out? Well, you might still dip down into this now territory. And that's one of the things about, like, this pipeline. And this is just very broad strokes that I'm painting up here of now, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and 5 years. So these are very broad strokes that we've got up here. But, you might need to dip down a step. So when they're 6 months out, this is maybe where you have phone calls. So when they need your business now, that's where you're going to be meeting with them. But if they're maybe 6 months out, at least you're talking to them on the phone. But now, if they say they're 6 months out, you might still want to dip down into, hey, well, let's set up an appointment. And they might give you some pushback. They might say, oh, no, we're not ready to meet with anybody yet. Hey, no, I completely understand. But if they're open to the appointment, maybe even though they say they're 6 months out, maybe they're a lot closer to now. So that's why when you're in these different stages, you always want to try to be pushing this deal forward to see, okay, is this where I'm going to find out that they didn't really know it's 6 months and it's really now? Or is it really, really 6 months? Because if they give you pushback and say, oh, no, we're not ready to meet with anybody yet, they're still not ready. They still need to go back in the oven. That's what we're doing up here. They're in the oven. They're like a turkey. We got Thanksgiving coming up here, so we've got the turkey in the oven, and the little thing hasn't popped yet. But, maybe don't trust that thing popping, because that little thing popping in your turkeys, that's like them raising their hand saying, hey, I need your help. But, what happens if you've got a defective popper? What if they don't know how to raise their hand and say, hey, I need your help? You got to go in there and probe them. You got to take the temperature, and you got to see, okay, are they ready to do business now? Oh, nope, not done yet. Okay, put them back in the oven. We'll let them cook a little bit longer. But again, you still want to maintain that relationship. So you got the phone calls here. Now, 1 year out, as we go further down, at this point, this is where you're maybe using text messages. And again, you could always dip down to these things when it's appropriate. Maybe you have a client that you just sold a home to. But if you're in the neighborhood showing houses already, maybe you stop by afterwards and say, hey, I was just showing some houses in the neighborhood today. I figured I'd stop by, see if you guys are home, just say hi. And maybe they invite you in. Maybe they invite you in for a drink or dinner or whatever it is. Or maybe you catch them when they're busy. Hey, no problem. I just want to stop by, say, let you know how you're doing. Maybe you have a little gift to drop off to them. So these aren't strict rules that, oh, you can't have a personal visit with somebody unless they need business now. And too many agents treat it like that, oh, well, they don't need business now, so I'm not going to have an appointment with them. They said that they're 2 years out, that they want to wait at least 2 years for income taxes so they could get their income taxes up to date. I don't want to waste my time meeting with them. And that is a decision you'll have to make depending on how busy your schedule is. But when you've got time, and you can make that personal visit feasible for, let me just stop by. They've still got to, do their income tax and everything like that, but maybe I'll go show them a home. Maybe we'll start the conversation and see if we could accelerate this process a little bit. Maybe we could talk to a lender who could kind of work some special magic where maybe their current income tax returns are fine. Or whatever the case may be. But, maybe we go in there again, we're taking the temperature. We're checking, hey, maybe you want to check something out. You want to go look at it? I'd love to show you houses. And again, even if they don't buy now, when you're providing value, when they've told you, oh no, we're not ready to buy yet, hey, that's no problem. That's no problem. I'd really love to show you this house over here because I think it's perfect for you guys, and I know it's not ready right now, but at least, you could have something that you're looking forward to, that you're working towards. Oh, that sounds great. John, you're so great. You know what, John? I've actually got a friend at work who needs to buy a house. Do you want me to give them your number? Absolutely. But see now how when you provide value to them, even though you know that they're not business right away, that they're going to reciprocate that value to you. They're going to feel like, wow, He knows that we're not going to buy a house and he still wants to go show me a house. Now, you got to be careful and make sure, again, that you're working efficiently. But ultimately, don't be afraid to go on an appointment or two with somebody that you know has no interest in buying. They will be able to buy. Maybe 6 months from now, 3 months from now, maybe 2 years from now, 3 years, 5 years, however long it may be, that they may be ready to buy. So look, as we go further down this list here, we've got the personal visits, then the phone calls, then before that we have the text messages. And now what if we proceed even further? You know, how do we take it a little, another step back? And I would say that would... And it's probably a toss-up depending on the person here. But at this point, and we'll just kind of group these together. So we've got our socials and email. And I want to put these way down at the bottom of the list because your socials and your emails, for the most part, if you're just posting things on your social, you don't know if they're seeing it. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Maybe they liked it, maybe they commented on it. Maybe it does start a conversation. But don't get that confused with, actually messaging somebody back and forth versus just sending an email newsletter or just making a post about an open house that you're doing or making a post about whatever, or even if they just click like on it. That's good that you're doing that, and that's definitely something you want part of this mix here. And this is a great way to make sure that these people this long out aren't forgetting about you. But mix in a text message here. As you move down this list, again, these things are, again, going to be more time intensive. Nothing up here is going to take more time than an appointment for a single person, but that is what we ultimately have to do before we end up with a contract, before we end up with a closing. We need an appointment, so we can maybe force it a little bit. We could force an appointment, even though they're not ready, and even though they're probably not going to buy. But again, we're providing value to them by saying, you know what, I'll still take you to see a house. You know, it's my job to show houses. That's literally all I do every single day is I show people houses. You know, you guys are great people. I'm sure you're going to buy someday. Why don't I just show you this house that I think you're really going to like, so that way you've got something to look forward to. You know, we don't have to waste, because I don't want to waste your time here of looking at all kinds of houses, but I really think this one would be great for you. And I think it'll be really kind of help push you forward to accomplish that goal of home ownership. I know you guys have been wanting to own a home for a while. Have you looked at any homes yet? No? Well, here, let me take you. And then we're using that as a basis to really provide a wow, rock star type of experience to this person. So that way, when they are ready to buy, now, if we forget about them, if we go show them a house and then 2 years later and we haven't talked to them at all and they're ready to buy, they're probably not going to talk to us. So that's why we want to use these other methods that are less time intensive, that are more efficient, because you could send out an email to like thousands of people at the same time. Once. That's what you get systems like MailChimp and all these email marketing systems that you could use. You could do something like that. But don't rely on that, because your email newsletter probably isn't going to get you business. Your social medias probably aren't going to get you business. They might. They absolutely could. And that's why the reason is that you want to continue doing these. But you're not going to make a Facebook post and get a commission check for a closing. You're not going to send an email and all of a sudden commission check for a closing. If you reverse engineer this process before you get your commission check for closings, you're going to have personal visits, you're going to have phone calls, you're going to have text messages, there are going to be emails going back and forth with you. So again, don't be afraid to kind of test the waters, to maybe make a phone call to somebody that's not ready yet, or maybe even have an appointment with somebody that's not ready yet. Just to, again, to kind of take the temperature, see if, okay, I mean, maybe you thought your turkey, going back to that turkey analogy, maybe you thought your turkey was like 60 degrees, but turns out you took the temperature and it's 145. Whoa. All right, they're actually pretty close. When initial signs might have showed otherwise, that they were nowhere close to buying or selling, but then, you go in there, you take the temperature, you maybe send a text message, make a phone call, make a personal visit, have an appointment, and all of a sudden you realize, wow, okay, they are ready, or they're close to ready. I've got to turn up the heat. I've got to contact them on a more frequent basis. So as you go down here, not only what it is that you're doing increases, but also the frequency at which you do it should also increase. That you should be further and deeper in a communication with them for people now than you would be people 5 years out. But again, the goal here is everybody in this pipeline that you want to have a relationship with them. And when you manage the relationship with all these people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5+ years out, That's where you have people lined up to do business with you. But not by chance, by process, by you building relationships with everyone you meet. Again, maybe you're knocking on doors and doors that you knock on, today. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you've enjoyed the show today, hit that thumbs up icon, like this. That's for us here. That's for us to let us know that we're doing a good job and that you liked what we're doing. So hit that thumbs button if you liked today's show. And if you really like today's show, this is what's for you. Hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever it is that we go live or when we have videos. So that way you don't miss out on any of this information that we do to build a successful real estate career. You might ask, John, why are you doing this? Well, what's in it for you? What's in it for us is your success, because that's how we succeed. We succeed by helping you succeed. Because then when you go to talk to somebody who says, I've been thinking about getting my real estate license, you haven't been successful, you might say, oh, real estate's a joke, don't waste your time. But if we could be part of your success, if we could help you be successful, not only are you going to tell your friends, oh yeah, real estate is great, I love real estate, it's the best thing I've ever done in my life, but on top of that, if we're part of that, we want you to say, hey, Tampa School Real Estate is the place you need to go. We want a relationship with you. We're not afraid here at Tampa School Real Estate to work for free. We do charge money for some of the stuff. We've got to charge money to stay in business, but we do these videos every week, every single day for free, so you could watch to provide value to you. So that's the same thing you want to do in your business. So we're here to help you succeed any way we can. If you need to get your real estate license, call us up. If you're studying for your up. If you need to do post licensing, call us up. You want to get your broker license, call us up. We've got new sales training courses through our new VBIT, video-based interactive training platform that we're releasing soon. Call us up for that. Our phone number is 813-333-2676. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have. Whether, you're wondering, can I start in real estate part-time? How much money can I maybe make? What does it take to get my real estate license? What are the requirements? What does it look like to have a real estate career? Whatever it is we could help you with, what will I learn from post-licensing? Wow. Any questions we could answer for you, 813-333-2676. Give us a call. Check us out online on our website at school.com. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that bell icon. But other than that, that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you on Friday for State of Real Estate. Hey, so if you're thinking about starting a real estate career, it could feel a little overwhelming sometimes. Look, that's completely understandable. That's why we're here to help. If you haven't already, check out our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success, or if you don't even know where to begin, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that we can. Our phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Give us a call. We're the Tampa School of Real Estate.
Do you want a career that allows you to be in control? With a career in real estate, you'll get to call the shots.
Whether you're looking at starting part-time or want to become the next top agent, a career in real estate makes it possible. Exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Chrisma with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can.